Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen and welcome to the Recipe Therapist. Today, do I have the perfect solution for your gift giving this holiday season? They're my holiday cookie tins. We're going to be stuffing them with white snowball cookies and our chocolate Christmas bark. But for those of you who celebrate different holidays, all you have to do, it's real easy, is just switch up the candy with some blue and white candy canes, which I have here, or some blue and white sprinkles. They'll be just perfect either way. So come on, let's get started. Okay, so let me tell you what's in those white snowball cookies. We're gonna be using all-purpose flour, some powdered sugar, some granulated sugar, 2 sticks of salted room temperature butter, vanilla extract, some extra water, and some chopped pecans. So to get started with our white snowball cookies, we're going to be using 1 cup of butter, the salted butter that's room temperature. So that's about 2 sticks, and I've placed it into my bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the sugar, and then I'm just going to take my hand mixer, and for about like a minute or so, I'm just going to turn it on and combine the sugar and the butter. Okay, so now as you can see, our butter and our sugar is well creamed and combined. So now we're ready to add our wet ingredients. We're going to add our vanilla extract, our water, and this recipe typically doesn't call for salt, but I like a little salt in it, so I'm just going to add a pinch of salt into there. And I'm just going to give this a mix with my rubber spatula just to get it combined before we sift our flour and add the rest of our remaining ingredients, which is our pecans. So that's looking good. And I just want to demonstrate, for those of you who don't know what sifting is, this is a sifter. What you do is you just take your flour and you just put it right in to this little sifter, and it has this handle on it. And you just turn it like that, and you can see how it comes out of the bottom, and it just makes the flour lighter and easier to work with. It also makes a better cookie. So now I'm just going to take my fork and I'm just going to mix this until it all comes together, and then we're going to be ready to add our pecans. Okay, so this is what the dough looks like when the flour is well combined, and now we're ready to add our chopped pecans. So I'm going to pour them right on top of the dough, and I'm going to take my clean hands and I'm just going to press them into the dough like that until they're, well incorporated into this mixture. So this is what it looks like after I mixed the pecans into the dough. I formed it into a ball, and what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to divide this dough in 2. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut this dough right in half, okay? And I'm going to form it into another ball again, and I'm just going to pat it a little bit down, okay? And I'm going to take a piece of plastic. The reason why we refrigerate it, it helps to work better with the dough. I mean, the dough works better when it's refrigerated. So we're going to pat it down into like a little disc, and we're just going to go like that for both of them, and they're going to go in the refrigerator for 45 minutes, and then we're going to take them out and get ready to put them on the cookie sheet for baking. Okay, so let's go over the ingredients of our Christmas chocolate bark. So what I have here are some buttered waffle pretzels that I've broken up. I have some salted peanuts, mini marshmallows, the holiday chocolate M&Ms, and for our chocolate, we're going to be using dark melting chocolate, a 12-ounce package that looks sort of like this, and 6 ounces of white melting chocolate. So what I've done is I've taken the chocolate and I put it into this bowl, and now we're going to get ready to put it into our microwave. It's going to go in the microwave at 30-second intervals. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix it with our wooden spoon when it comes out to keep it from burning. It's probably going to take 4 or 5 times, but I'll demonstrate what that looks like. Okay, so It's just about 30 seconds, and you can see that just the middle part has melted a little, but that doesn't deter us from keep on mixing all the chocolate, because again, we don't want this to burn. Otherwise, we won't be able to use it. So we're gonna put it back in for another 30 seconds. Okay, so this is the second interval at 30 seconds. You can see that much more of the chocolate is beginning to melt. I'm probably gonna do this about 2 more times at 30-second intervals, and I think it's gonna be just perfect. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's nice and melted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to pour it on top of this cookie sheet, which I have a silicone mat. If you don't have a silicone mat, you can use wax paper. It works just as well. So I'm gonna take all my chocolate and I'm just going to place it on this silicone mat, just like that. And I wanna get it all off. Okay, and now we're just going to spread it, like sort of like a rectangle. That's how I usually do it. And then after we spread it, we're gonna get ready to put all of our fun stuff on top, okay? So I'm gonna start with the pretzels. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. You just throw it right on top. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna take our peanuts, just like that. Our marshmallows, and I'm gonna press them in because I can. And I'm gonna get all these marshmallows, maybe a little more peanuts. And then last but not least, we're gonna do our holiday M&Ms, which really adds that spark of color. And then after this, we're just gonna put it in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're gonna break it up and it's gonna be just perfect. Okay, so I've taken the cookie dough out of the refrigerator, and now we're gonna get ready to open it up. And we're going to be placing it onto our cookie sheet that I've lined with another silicone mat, but you can use wax paper if you don't have. And I have this little scooper here that's going to give us the same size snowballs for each cookie. So I'm just going to demonstrate. I'm going to take the scooper and I'm going to press the cookie dough into it so I get that perfectly shaped snowball. And I'm just going to continue to do that. It doesn't have to be 2 inches apart. It's not like these cookies are going to spread or anything. And just fill up with all your cookie dough, all these, little snowballs. And I've preheated my oven to 325 degrees, and they're going to cook for about 12 to 15 minutes. And they're going to be great. So I've taken the cookies out of the oven, the snowball cookies, and this is what they look like. I've just let them cool for about 5 minutes only, because now what we have to do is we're going to take our bowl of powdered sugar and we're going to start to roll these cookies in the powdered sugar, just like that. And we don't want them to be cooled off too much because we want the sugar to stick to the cookie. So they're somewhat tacky on the outside. So we're going to do it the whole tray just like this, and then we're going to come back after about 5 more minutes and we're going to do a second coat. Okay, so I've just completed the 1 coating of the sugar on our snowball cookies, and you can see they're kind of tacky here. They're not fully coated, but now we're ready to do our second coat, and they're going to be really, really white and powdery. Just like that. That looks a lot better. And we're just going to continue till we do all of our cookies. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so here's the Christmas bark. I just took it out of the freezer a little while ago. It's so beautiful and colorful. And here's our second layer of powdered sugared snowball cookies. They look perfect. Couldn't have come out any better. But what I want to do is just demonstrate how we put our holiday cookie gift tin together. So I've taken a tin that I picked up at a local department store, and I've just I've lined it with a snowman napkin. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the Christmas bark like this, and I'm just going to break it up. It breaks up really easily. And I'm just going to start filling 1/2 of the tin with our beautiful chocolate Christmas bark, just like that. And I do have some chocolate candies that I want to put on top at the end. I'll show you. Okay, just like that. And then on the other half, we're gonna just take some of our snowballs and place them right in like that. They look great. And you have that nice contrast of color. And I'll be back and I'll show you how we're gonna put our candies on top. Okay, so now we're ready to put some of our chocolate holiday candies that I picked up just for that little extra color. I just throw, I don't know, 5 or 6 on top, just like that. And I'm gonna show you how I do my holiday label. So I'm gonna put the top back on. And what I've done is I've taken 2 index cards and I've just wrote, you know, Merry Christmas, love the Cal Wagner family, or Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. And I've taken a pair of paper edgers. These you can get at any local craft store. They're just scalloped edge scissors. And what they do is they make the outside of the label, I'll demonstrate for you, have that nice, beautiful, decorative edge. I'll show you as I'm cutting this how nice that edge looks. It just adds that little extra, you know, decoration to the label. And what we're gonna do is, when I'm done cutting this, we're gonna put it on top of our cookie tin. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken my labels and I've cut the edges, and you can see the difference of the scalloped edges. And I've taken a bow and I've taped it onto the cookie tin. And what I'm gonna do is just take my label just like that, and I'm going to tape it on. Put tape behind the label, each side, so it's nice and secure. And that is it. That is our decorated, easy cookie tin that you can give as the perfect gift to friends, family, whoever. And I'm just gonna tell you that it's one of those gifts that no one is ever gonna return. So for the instructions and the recipes, go down to the description, hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications, and we will see you next time.